always said that he wants to be and he wants to not main event, but
Work
be in
Wrestle-
WrestleMania.
Yep.
Oh.
That will be the ticket.
Yep.
But to move into a different type of news, moving on to Vince McMahon's
Very somber news.
Exit from WWE after his latest scandal that has been brewing, and I blame Brian for this as well.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I think I should go first on this one.
Brian, all you.
All right.
I just want to read Vince McMahon's statement. He came out with a statement last week. I stand by my prior statement that Mrs. Grant lawsuit is replete with lies, obscene, made-up instances that never occurred, and is a vindication, distortion of the truth. I intend to vigorously defend myself against these baseless accusations and look forward to clearing my name. However, out of respect for the WWE universe, the extraordinary TKO business and its board members and shareholders, partners, and constituents, and all of the employees and superstars that helped me make WWE into the global leader it is today, I have decided to resign from my executive chairmanship and the TKO board of directors effective immediately. So another step down from Vince McMahon with the latest scandal. I forgot the lady's name from Miss Grant. I'm going to go by right now with her latest accusations of crazy accusations of against Vince McMahon and his long strenuous NDAs and hush money and basically trying to keep things under wrap. But what do you guys think about the latest on Vince McMahon?
All right. So like we mentioned off camera. So during our WrestleMania 39 reaction show, we were all reacting to night 2 of WrestleMania and the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, which was one of the worst Monday Night Raws after WrestleMania in a while. During that show, I kind of went the extra mile. Tried to pretty much begged and pleaded for more women to come out and tell and pretty much just tell their stories in regards to Vince McMahon. And my thinking at the time was I just wanted to get Vince McMahon away from creative, because like I said, we had that Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, which was compared to other Raws after WrestleMania, was very, very, very lackluster. And you saw all the reports about Vince being back in charge again. And then I made the comment, but the comment was only supposed to be made to get him away from creative. I felt that any other aspect of WWE's business that he was involved in was perfectly fine, because we know Vince McMahon, he's aggressive, but he is a great promoter and a great businessman. I mean, look at the track record. Look at where WWE was when he took over the territory from his dad, all the way to where it is now. But when you look at this lawsuit and you see words like trafficking and sexual assault, and then you look at some of these alleged text messages that came from Vince McMahon, some of the crap that came out, and you're just hoping and praying that those messages weren't sent from him, because if they were, I mean, those are the messages from a horrible human being, and if that was his intent to be such a what do you mean no? You must not have read those messages clearly.
I'm just saying,
we're men now. If we get our women on these podcasts right now and we tell them to react to these messages, I guarantee you.
I think what Dan is also referring to is like, it's crazy to think when you look at the character of Vince McMahon and some of the we all know it's entertaining, but it's just like the heinous things this man would do on screen
are imitating.
There's things you're seeing, you're like, these videos are not aging well. Like I saw one with Stephanie saying, "Oh, you made me do things with
everywhere,
man, when I was 17," and then all the stuff with like Trish and the stuff with his wife, and then like I said,
This man was basically having a midlife crisis on national TV every week for 30 years, and everyone ignored it. All that stuff that was in text messages, all that stuff that has been alleged in the past and stuff like that, it's kind of just like everybody wants to kind of walk on eggshells because it is definitely a sensitive situation, but it's like those text messages just kind of I don't want to. I'm not going to say that,
but they shine a light on something we kind of probably knew was
the mind of Vince McMahon, like even more. Like it shows and it is kind of like a caveman mentality, right? Like maybe that stuff it's never been acceptable, but maybe that stuff was kind of done by everybody back in the day. Now we're in a different stage where everything is coming out, especially with women's rights. All these allegations and the sensitivity around that, and everybody has a story to tell, and everybody has their place and should be respected. But it's like Vince is too old to be doing this stuff. This stuff didn't just happen like 5-10 years ago. This stuff was recent. This is recent stuff.
But you know what's crazy? The crazy thing about it is that 2 years ago, two summers ago, in 2022, when that first Wall Street article broke, and pretty much accused Vince of using WWE money as hush money to pay off some of these women. What ended up happening? Vince retired, stepped away again, and that's when Triple H got control of creative. And then that's when he started pushing this whole concept of a sale and we gotta get this sale going for WWE. I'm almost starting to wonder now if at that time he pushed for the sale so much because he knew a whole bunch of other shit was gonna come out soon. And he wanted to keep WWE away from it. So that's why he was pushing so hard for the sale to happen. And on top of that, because after the sale happened, he still was named the executive chairman.
He was chairman of.
So he probably thought, I'm still chairman. So therefore, maybe I'm safe. But then here comes that lawsuit. And I just want to say, because we also talked about it on Saturday, the ramifications of the lawsuit. How Slim Jim on Friday night pulled out as a sponsor. And then by Saturday, we're seeing a Slim Jim commercial before LA Knight's entrance. And
less than 48 hours.
Literally, Slim Jim was all over pretty much that WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship match. They were all over it. So it made us think. We were talking about it then. Like, damn, like bro, literally 24 hours ago, this wasn't gonna happen. So how was this match supposed to look? And from that standpoint, losing sponsors and everything, I'm pretty sure because I've done research on Ari Emanuel, who's running TKO right now. Yeah. But he's just an aggressive businessman as Vince McMahon is. So if there's anything that's jeopardizing his money, he's gonna cut it out like a cancer every single time.
100%.
So I'm pretty sure that he pretty much said that all right, 2 years ago happened. We took over now, but clearly, you can't be a part of this anymore. Granted, it's your company, your family built it, but we're in new territory right now, so we can't have you around. And decision was made, and it was pretty much the end of an era. But we knew eventually it was coming. I mean, we talk about skeletons being in people's closets. I mean, the skeletons always eventually come out some way, somehow. No matter how old you are, no matter how far ago it happened, it always comes to the surface somehow. And now you hear this coming. The only thing I'm thinking about is his family. How's this going to impact Shane, Stephanie, their kids, Linda McMahon. You can only think about how they're dealing with it. How they're dealing with it right now. And now you're seeing reports that, because this happened, anybody that works in WWE that's somehow associated with Vince may be on the clock now. First person I think of on top of my mind is Bruce Pritchard.
Pritchard's gone. He's going to be done.
He's going to be done. He's going to be done soon.
Which honestly, from a personal standpoint, I hope that is the case. That way,
because he sucks.
That way, when his podcast, we can get some more stories about what was going on behind the scenes over there.
He's going to be in the gag order. He's not going to be allowed to say anything.
Yeah, he's not going to be saying anything.
I mean, he's already signed 10 NDAs.
or he can at least something, but I think he knows. He knows his days are number 2, and anybody else that was there. So yeah,
we're all forgetting John Laurinaitis too.
Oh, John Laurinaitis is fucked. He ain't working for no wrestling promotion. Fuck that guy. No, we're good. We don't want John Laurinaitis.
You don't love
as far as I'm concerned, John Laurinaitis.
He's married to
Naomi and Sasha Banks walked out, so I'm good on John Laurinaitis. Fuck that.
He's married to the Bella Twins' mother.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So it affects them too.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bellas, they're not even good standing with WWE, let alone him. But in general, I just look at just the fallout of all this. Every report that comes out now is going to be questioned to Triple H, WWE. We saw in the press conference.
That was bad. He handled it bad.
Asking about the allegations, and he kind of just swept it underneath the rug. And some people didn't like that. Cody Rhodes addressed it.
He did a good job.
And just looking at it from that standpoint, it's like every single time something happens now, or any report or anything that comes out, a news update, case proceedings, if there's a WWE event, it's going to be asked. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if people are just going to start walking up on wrestlers like TMZ and just start asking questions like, hey, do you know anything? And get pressured. And of course, they're going to give the political correct media answer, right? Like they're going to try to stay far away from that as ever. Well, I think even Nia Jax was asked about it, and I can't remember what she said.
Yeah, she was.
She was asked about it as well, and it's just like that. There's a trickle effect from this now. Like, this isn't going to go away, as WWE is going to try to do that, put on better shows and stuff like that. But I think that this is going to linger on for a little bit.
No, this is going to linger on for the rest of the year. And I honestly think, and the crazy thing about it is, this isn't. Not only is it not over, but like I said, there could be like way more women now that are going to be comfortable coming out now that she filed that civil lawsuit. Because you know how it is. So soon as one is brave enough to do it, then the floodgates open, and everybody has a story. And I mean, that's always how it is. So this is going to be a dark cloud hanging over them for a while, and they'll be okay. I mean, they'll still break their records, they'll still make their money, they still got the Netflix deal, they'll still have their success, but it'll always be like that asterisk because of Vince in the situation.
It's true. James Dolan's next. Hopefully.
The New York Knicks owner.
It's just crazy with all this, just because it's like the more stuff comes out, it was just like look at how there was so much hype and everything for the Rumble. You got the Netflix deal, you got all this good press, and then boom,
in a week,
in a week,
monkey wrench and everything, and then you got other people. You got Brock involved. Brock's getting pulled. You got sponsors pulling out. It's like,
and from the text messages that were kind of alluding to Brock, I'm kind of like, he didn't do anything.
Yeah, he really didn't do anything. But
like, reading those
they're distancing themselves
with it, so it's
from Vince.
The way it's bad.
Yeah.
And like they're saying, it's like they're like, all right, well, who else is a former world heavyweight UFC champion? It's like,
I mean, the UFC thing kind of
Ronda Rousey.
I mean, UFC kind of gives it away, but as far as
if that was the case, then fine, give Ronda all that hate.
Ronda Rousey's catching a stray here, like she didn't do anything.
See, the crazy thing, Daniel, is that there were a lot of people who read those messages and feel the same way that you feel. That like, what exactly did Brock do? He shouldn't have gotten pulled for the Rumble. And my response is like, well, did you guys see the presser after when they were asking Triple H those questions? Now imagine if Brock was in the Rumble.
Yeah. Triple H wouldn't have showed up for that one. He would have.
Nah. He would have canceled the press conference.
He probably wouldn't even had the press conference.
He would have had Byron Saxton out there reading the numbers.
Don't forget.
We called him Barney on Saturday.
Oh,
His purple suit after the press conference. But nah, man, it's just crazy. It's just crazy to see that like now we can officially be like, all right, this is too much of something for Vince to overcome. This is a man who beat the United States government in steroid scandals and has had beaten TV executives and all this other stuff. WCW has been on top for 30 years, and it looks like this is finally the nail in his wrestling endeavors, right? Like it's crazy.
So question to handle the situation. Do you think Vince McMahon is going to be Chris Benoit? Like he's going to be?
Yeah, he's already been Chris Benoit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They
took him everywhere.
Oh,
you go to WWE merchandising. There's nothing from Vince. I heard there's something about
like it pulls up a different page when you try to look for him.
Yeah, and Peacock, they're trying to. I think they're pretty much going to do the same thing like what they did with Chris Benoit and just take away his stuff.
That puts them in a different thing because that's basically the Attitude Era. Is it going to go that far where we take Vince segments out? Like Vince has been on TV since 1997.
I know. Commentator. He's a commentator.
Yeah, commentator, wrestler, performer, the Austin era. Like every single thing.
It'll be tough.
Mm-hmm. Like I don't know how they're going to handle that because it's like that's part of your history. Like Chris Benoit, you can still find it. Like they didn't remove his matches, but it's just like
no, they didn't remove his matches.
Like this is something that like they probably want to just like did for a little while. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get as far away from Vince mentions or anything McMahon.
Yeah,
as they can,
100%
as they can. Man. Like it's crazy to think that Vince McMahon is not in charge and power. He's not like the boogeyman. He's not going to pop back up again. Like that's it. Like it's crazy, man.
Oh no, they Mike Myers his ass. They rotisserie chicken him. They fried him. They flamethrower everything. He ain't coming back.
That's crazy. I mean,
Brian's happy. I know that.
Just think, because I remember the first allegations. He came back on the Monday Night Raw, like made an announcement and walked to the ring and.
I was actually on SmackDown that Friday. I remember that. He came out. He came out for 30 seconds and pretty much told everybody, "Remember the signature at the beginning of the show. Then, now, forever together." Whatever the signature is at the beginning of these shows, and pretty much said that we're all in this together. And we're all looking at him like,
no, we not.
Who's in this together?
No, we're not.
All these fans, you're in this by yourself. You did that shit. We ain't got nothing to do with that.
Just thinking about that moment, because it's like kind of like Vince just controlling the situation, right? Like he was in control, like, hey, I'm not going anywhere, whatever. This is going to be brushed off, whatever. Jumping down the steps. Like this is just like what, 2 years ago, a year ago?
Yeah.
Man thinks he's untouchable, and now it's showing that he really is.
He's not, and it's just crazy. Not. It's just crazy because Vince has been in all our lives, like our whole wrestling fandom. Like Vince was there, so it's like definitely ushering. And then first of all, McMahon was there, like Stephanie, Shane. Like there was some variation of them, and now there's not. We have Triple H, being the husband and stuff like that of Stephanie, but it's just like, yeah, that's it for Vince, man. That's it for Vince, man. That's crazy. It's crazy to think about it, but this was my thing about it. Like, he's just too old to be doing that shit.
He's too old.
He's just too old, man. Just too old.
But I will say this: as horrendous as the allegations are, I mean, it doesn't take away from his impact on sports entertainment in general. I mean, he when he bought, like he said, when he bought it out from under his dad, he said, "I'm not going to be professional wrestling. I'm going to be sports entertainment." Mm-hmm. And he bought up all the territories, took his show national, and then the WWE became what it is today, and it continues to grow. I mean, and I don't think we can take as heinous as these allegations and everything is, we can't use that to take away from the impact that he's had on sports entertainment entirely.
I understand that, but let's put it like this. All right, so Harvey Weinstein, this is a bad example, but it's kind of like that. So all the movies that Harvey Weinstein produced and all that, they're still available, obviously. Mm-hmm. But that tarnishes his legacy.
Oh, it's
I
definitely
think this tarnishes everything.
definitely a black spot. It's definitely like you look at like it's definitely bad. There's no way around it. It's definitely bad looking at it.
Doesn't this kind of remind you of someone?
The person who opened out the Royal Rumble.
Oh, Hulk Hogan.
Doesn't this kind of remind you of someone?
Isn't it weird that Vince is out?
Tarnished legacy, but yet we still want to call him a GOAT, right?
He's in the
No, he's not a GOAT.
He's in the GOAT bracket.
Lewis, he was taken out in the first round, man. Like I don't know what else we can do anymore about this whole thing, bro. He was out in the first round. He was a 14 seed. He was a 14 seed that lost to the Undertaker, rightfully so. So what else can we do?
Not have him in it.
He had to be in it. He is the 80s.
Wow. Nah, we good.
Oh my goodness. No, that would do it for this episode of Ring Takes here on that note. Thank you guys for joining me as always. We're going to be talking